What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk Talk Punch. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Brody, joined by Tudong Dylan,
Hey.
and the Lando Calrissian of this
Ooh.
Rebel Alliance, Charlie Hickman.
Nice.
I'm choosing to take that as the compliment that it should be, and not that you're calling me a betrayer.
Oh,
So
he's not a betrayer.
He didn't
He was
betray
the
anybody.
cool one.
He was cool.
He was the
Colt
coolest one,
45.
Charlie.
I mean,
Mhm.
he kind of betrayed Han, but that's okay. I
No.
mean, he's you can't stay mad at Lando.
No.
No,
He also went and saved him.
you're the cool one. I mean, you might sell us out if somebody showed up and is like, "I really
Here's a
want to
sack
take
of
over
money."
this Talk Talk Punch," and Charlie's like, "I might." Do
Look, I love you guys, but I mean, come on.
They showed up right before you guys. I mean,
Yeah. They asked first. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
all right. Well, while you folks are here, we'd love to interact with you. So make sure you comment down below. Just please be nice about it. And then whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening in on the audio version of the podcast, wherever you might get your podcast, make sure you hit that thumbs up or the star ratings, whatever you can hit. That's going to help us out. We would sure appreciate it because the more the algorithm likes, more the algorithm sees all that stuff, the more it sends it out so that more people can view it. Really trying to grow here. We're plateaued a little bit, and I think we could use some more. So tell your friends, tell people, and rate us. You can also subscribe, or else Dylan. Oh man, I don't remember what I had. Dylan, let's just say he's going to come to your house, and he's going to. What could he do?
I'm
Can I
gonna
take this?
hard boil.
Yeah,
all
Charlie, take
All right.
this one.
Dylan's coming to your house with a smoke detector that's about to hit a low battery. He's gonna hide it on some wall in some room of your house, and you're gonna forget about it. And then in about 3 months, that low alarm is gonna hit, and it will be indestructible and unfindable. So
True.
subscribe.
Oh,
Terrible thing to do. Terrible
horrible.
thing, folks. Don't force me to do that. Come on. Come on.
So you can avoid that by subscribing. And then once you subscribe, you can easily come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us and see what we're talking about. Kind of like this week's topic. We are ranking the alternate auditioners for Han Solo. So ultimately,
Well said.
Han Solo.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we go.
I had to really think about it for a second. We ultimately got, of course, Harrison Ford, who went on to make this iconic role.
Mhm.
But there were other people that auditioned, and it's kind of become, at least some of them. We don't know how many people ultimately auditioned, but there's lists out there of people that auditioned. Maybe they had admitted they auditioned, or maybe somebody that worked on the movie said, I know this person. So we're going to go through and we're going to rank. Maybe in an alternate timeline, Harrison Ford didn't take the part because he seems to hate the role anyways. Like, I'd rather do other stuff. So maybe it went to the backup. So we're going to look and we're going to say, hey, we're going to make a list of backups. What do you guys think about this? How you feeling?
Good idea.
Was that an okay description?
Great.
It was a thorough and lovely description of exactly what's about to happen.
Don't worry, I'll have a better description by the time I build the YouTube description.
This is a timely podcast. We're just like 30 years too late or whatever, but
Well,
always fun to look back.
They had to declassify this information. We didn't have this information before, folks.
That's right.
True.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yep.
All right.
Han Solos.
So if you've never done our rankings before, let me take you. We've got our list of stars here. So we're going to go through all these. Let me read them out for you. For our audio listeners who may not see this. So first up, we've got Al Pacino. We've got Kurt Russell. We've got Sylvester Stallone. We've got Robert Englund. We've got Christopher Walken. Glenn Turman.
Nice.
Got Burt Reynolds. Nick Nolte. And Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck himself, Magnum PI.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna shuffle all these up, put them in a little deck, and then they're just gonna time. We're gonna rank them. Now, just because they fall into one place doesn't mean they're stuck there. They may shift
Right.
around as we're like, this person should really be higher, and it may bump
Yeah.
some stuff like that. But it's gonna be a good time. So let's go ahead, get our deck. We've got our little draw deck right there. Okay. So first up, we have Christopher Walken. How would you guys feel about a Christopher Walken console?
Now, I'd like to say this. First off, we're going with Star Wars came out in what, 1977?
1977.
1977. So we're not doing the current day Christopher Walken. We're doing Christopher Walken from back in the day. And he was not nearly the parody of himself that he was. I would put him in the top 5 easily because he is a very good actor. I mean, underrated, and people only kind of see the impression other people do of him nowadays, and the
Sure.
impression he does of himself. But back then, he was a serious, like the Deer Hunter. Come on, he was fantastic in the Deer Hunter. I would, hey, I'd say 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
He's top 5 for me for sure, and yeah, it would be interesting to hear him like Princess Leia say I love you, and he's like, hi, no, with like a nice big pause there. I can't do Christopher Walken impression. Dylan, say I know, but in Christopher Walken. Go ahead.
I know, because it's not the pause in Christopher Walken. It's one where he's intense. He's intense. He's not like, I know. He's like,
I know over here. It's
I
okay.
know.
Okay over here. It's perfect
Let me
Christopher Walken impression.
let me tell you something. I know.
All right, well, I feel like after the horrible impressions we just did, we got to bump him up just
Horrible.
to make it up to
Horrible.
him. So I know he watches, so I feel
That's
bad
true.
now.
What do you think?
Let's
Number
put
3?
maybe 4, 3 or 4.
4?
4?
I mean, we can
4 now.
start him at 4. If he moves up or
Starting at
down,
4.
then that's
Okay.
fine.
Now, two important things to keep in the back of your mind. Number one, whoever plays uh, Harrison Ford's role of Han Solo also has to take over his role as Indiana Jones.
What?
I don't make the rules. It's just how it has to be. And we have to give a role of the actor who takes that to Harrison Ford as like a thank you very much. So in this case, I am going to be gifting Harrison Ford the Deer Hunter role of
Oh.
playing Nick, and that'll be now Harrison Ford forever in this alternate timeline. And
Wow.
Christopher Walken is not only a Han Solo but also Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I could see
I
him in Wedding Crashers.
Why did it have
Wedding
to be
Crashers.
snakes?
I do want to point out that all these pictures, I tried to get pictures that were around 1976, 1977, because that would have been when they would have been at. So, yeah, we're not casting for like today's actors, trying to like put them in that time frame so that they are times.
Well said. Well said.
All right, next up, we have a young pre-Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund.
Which then means that Harrison Ford would be playing Freddy Krueger.
Exactly.
And
He likes
I
to point. He
believe
likes to point.
I believe that Robert Englund is friends with Mark Hamill. So even though Robert Englund didn't get the part, he encouraged Mark Hamill.
That's correct. Yeah, they were roommates. Yeah.
Oh.
Allegedly, he talked him into going. But yeah, I think he even admitted, at least he said it in print, and maybe I don't know if this is a thing that actors do to kind of like to kind of retcon history, but he said, yeah, I didn't think I was right for the part, which is exactly what I would say if I auditioned for something and didn't get it. But
So where
I
do you
don't
get
know,
where
but
would
I don't think he was right for the part.
Yeah,
No.
I
So maybe
wouldn't
like
put.
7.
I'd be comfortable with that. I'd be comfortable with 7th.
7? Yeah, it's just hard to see it. Granted, I don't really know him from any previous role. But it's just hard to see.
Yeah, as Han
Hard
Solo,
to
it's
picture.
really tough.
Also, I think there's a very good chance that had we gotten a Robert Englund on Solo, we never would have gotten a Robert Englund.
Well, of course not,
Yeah,
because
no,
Harrison
Harrison
Ford
Ford
would
would
have.
have taken it.
Yeah, he would have
Oh
played
gosh.
Peter.
Oh yeah, that
Would have been bad. Would have been
all
bad.
right. Okay, next up we have Lynn Turman. You may
Lynn
know him
Turman,
from
nice.
the teacher Gremlin.
Yeah, right.
Unfortunately, I don't really have much else that I know him by besides Gremlins.
It's
Was a
because you guys didn't watch The Wire, which aggravates me to this day and offends viewers. That's the sound you're hearing is people unsubscribing because you have not watched The Wire.
I know, Dylan.
He was
Come on,
fantastic
man.
in that.
I, I, I don't know what to say. I
I
have no
haven't watched
idea.
it either. I haven't watched it. No,
Oh,
I
throwing
know.
me under the bus.
It's good.
But you know what?
All right. Anyway,
I found this picture and I thought that this picture was a
That looks cool.
fantastic picture that I could see like just visually looking at this picture. I'm like, okay, I can see maybe a Han
Can
Solo.
work with this. Yeah.
And I believe I read something that I heard, probably maybe you told me, that Glenn Turman made it pretty far, but that George Lucas was concerned about the interracial relationship on Solo,
yeah,
which is
Lucas had
really
like
unfortunate.
It also
Lucas had a
doesn't make
book,
any.
and
Yeah.
he wrote about like how he was kind of even had him in mind as he was writing the role. On the casting call, there was no ethnicity given. There was no again, Glenn Turman's been quoted as saying like a lot of times, especially in that era, it was like black actor, white actor, Hispanic actor, or whatever. And there was nothing like that. So he was excited to come audition, even though he didn't really understand what he was auditioning for at the time. I mean,
Right.
how could they predict that Star Wars would be this that it is
Right?
today?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got some good quotes about it. I think it's worth if you don't know who this actor is, it's worth kind of reading some of those quotes and that story about because it's interesting. But
Now,
So
what could have been?
I would put him at number 3. George Lucas, even though he likes to always pretend like he had some kind of a plan or he knew what he was doing and he knew nothing.
Yeah,
He planned out
yeah.
almost nothing, only slightly better than the new trilogy, which was really unplanned. So, but he had this guy in mind. I'm going to put him at number 3, if not number 2.
okay. I I know that there's some others in the group that I feel could be pretty high. So I'm good with number 3 for right now. I do really like this picture.
It's a nice picture. That is cool. Come on.
All right, and so then Harrison Ford will be appearing as the teacher Roy Hansen in the movie Gremlins.
Which is
So.
probably what Joe Dante had in mind in the first place.
All right. So next up we have Burt Reynolds.
Now, I don't know how seriously he would take this. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think he would take this seriously at all. And I'm not saying that he would have to take it seriously. But Harrison Ford took it so seriously that he didn't want to even say some of the dialogue. It was just ridiculous. And he's like, "Are you kidding me with some of this stuff?" And he just did his own thing. I don't know if that's exactly what Burt Reynolds would do. I think he would take it in more of a campy way and just like, "Oh, this is for little babies, apparently." So I don't think he would be a very. I mean, he could if he took it seriously, but I don't think he'd take it seriously, which means he wouldn't be a very good Han Solo in my mind. I'd put him maybe at 6 because better than Robert England. 'Cause I don't think even if he took it seriously, would do a great job. Not a great job, not a Harrison Ford
This
job.
is this is hard. This is hard. I gotta admit, I have not watched a ton of like Burt Reynolds cinema. At least not younger Burt.
Sure.
I did enjoy his brief appearance in the TV show Archer. But
Yeah, it's true.
it's also allegedly he was offered the role and turned it down because it was like too similar to other like roles. He was about to do Smoking the Bandit or
Yeah,
had just
yeah.
done Smoking the Bandit, which of course now Harrison Ford is doing in this alternate universe. I don't know. I feel like if Dylan's saying if he's going to be a little campy with it, and if that's the case, then put him low. Maybe he's a great actor and he would have like invested into the role and done it. But this Star Wars is a movie that it dances on the head of a very thin needle, and it could very easily turn into like just bad sci-fi camp with like the wrong kind of performances, the wrong kind of line delivery, some different choices.
Mhm,
Could
mhm.
have gone a whole different direction. So I lean towards maybe bottom half on old Birdie.
Maybe like
I don't know.
6?
Yeah, I say 6, bro.
Because I think it's
Also,
go for it,
yeah,
Charlie.
six is good. Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I don't know if that's true or not because this is where we never believe George Lucas, who's always like, I always intended to cast unknown actors in this film, but also I offered the role to Burt Reynolds, who was like
Yeah,
very
right?
famous. So I don't know what's true out of that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
trust anybody.
it would have been I don't think it would have been like a bad casting. But I don't know. I think I I don't know. I think Burt Reynolds was probably the one that I had the hardest time.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
eh,
It could have been really good or it could have been really bad. I think it really
yeah.
could have gone like
Hey,
um
you know what? I think he had the goods. I don't think he was going to use them. That's my whole thing. Like he could have done it. He could have done it easily. He's done other roles just like it. I just don't think he was going to take it seriously. That's why he turned down the role. If I mean, I just think he would have camped it up a little bit too much. I think he would have been like too cutesy and just thinking, he could coast. That's why I'm saying that.
well,
Not
next
the
up
per-
we have Sylvester Stallone, who I don't think would have been a good pick at all.
Would it change your mind if you're picturing Harrison Ford as Rocky?
He would have been the Irish stallion.
Could I interest you in Sylvester Stallone as Indiana Jones?
No, you can't.
Hey,
I,
yo,
I
snakes,
mean, you
why
could
they got to
offer it.
be
I'm going to reject
snakes?
it though. I don't
Come
want
on.
that. I don't want it. I don't want it.
You don't want Stallone as Indiana Jones?
No, I don't. I don't.
Close your Marion, close your eyes. You gotta close your eyes. Come on, Adrian. I mean, Marion. Perfect. It's perfect.
No, I
Number
I
one.
think number one.
Yeah.
This is either 7 or 8. I don't want Sylvester Stallone anywhere near Han Solo.
Yeah, 8 or 9 is fine for me. I definitely wouldn't bump Robert England behind him.
Yeah.
No.
Let's start with 8, bro. Let's just start
Start
with
with
8.
8.
Start with 8.
All right. So next up we have Nick Nolte, who said that if he had gotten the role, he was going to play it a lot goofier, which is what I had read. Um
Mm.
which I like a goofy Nick Nolte doing Han Solo. I don't like the sound of it.
Is there a movie where he intentionally was goofy? Because I'm trying to think of one, and I don't know if I've ever seen him try to be goofy. So I don't know what he's even talking about. Like maybe he just kind of said that just to say it, but that doesn't make any sense. Like when has he ever been
I
goofy?
I don't
Cape Fear,
Well, there we go. All right,
very
I
goofy.
stand corrected. That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if he would more like curmudgeonly. Like I don't know. I'm picturing him in like 48 Hours. He's just kind of like
sure.
grumpy and
Oh
like
yeah.
angry. Like
Mhm,
that seems
mhm.
like the Nick Nolte that I've seen more frequently. But there's also like pretty fair amount of Nick Nolte gaps in my watch history here as I'm looking at some of his credits. So who knows? Maybe he was really goofy
Down
in
and Out in
Extreme
Beverly
Prejudice.
Hills.
He was
No,
a
no,
straight man, I thought.
he played that very straight, I believe.
What do you
Unlike
think?
his stint in yeah, I don't know. Yeah, low. Put him low.
This would be
5.
low. I like for me this might actually bump Burt Reynolds up to 5. And then maybe even Robert Englund to 6 and maybe Nick Nolte at like
Ah,
7.
I don't remember who's coming that you're saving this number 9 hole for, but I'm interested to see who that's
Yeah.
gonna be.
I
Uh,
don't know about that, bro. I was thinking maybe put him at 7 and then put the other guys lower. I don't know why you would put Burt Reynolds any higher.
So put Nick Nolte at 7 or
Yeah, and
put
then
Burt Reynolds at 7.
no, put Nick Nolte at 7 and then Robert England and Stallone down. Stallone. Oh man.
Okay,
I'm
there's
so
there's
sorry.
one that's coming up though that I think would be really bad.
Well, we can always change it.
All right. Next up, we have Kurt Russell.
Now,
Oh, this is the one? You hated Kurt Russell?
oh wow,
No, Kurt
that's kind of
Russell,
shocking.
honestly, to me, Kurt Russell is like my number one. I think he would have been a really cool a really cool Harrison Ford. He would have been a really
Yeah,
cool Han Solo.
he could have been a cool Harrison Ford too. I would like to see Harrison Ford in Big Trouble in Little China as
Ah,
old Jack
that would have been
Burton. He's like, this is gonna take Cracker Jack timing, Wang. That's a spot on impression right there. Spot on
Spot
impression.
on. We're doing a lot of really good impressions tonight. I
Oh
think
We
people
man.
are
are.
impressed.
So what do you think? What do you think?
Uh,
Number one? Because I'm
yeah,
comfortable
I'm
with
good. I'm good with number one, and you can actually see his audition is online. So I think he might be the only
I
one on
think
this
it
list.
is.
You can actually go and
nice.
watch his audition on YouTube, so you can kind of see for yourself if you like it.
I think Kurt Russell, he just has that like he can be kind of a gruff guy, almost like a escape from New York type guy, but you still like him and he can
Yeah.
still kind of be charming. He can like turn on the charm and all of a sudden he's, this different character. I don't know. I could see it and I think he
People people don't realize exactly how much of a hero he wasn't in Big Trouble in Little China, and people still have him as like the main hero, which I think is fantastic. I love that he is not he doesn't really kill a lot of people. He messes up
he does.
constantly. Constantly, and it like almost like Han Solo. When Han Solo ran after that one stormtrooper and saw the battalion of stormtroopers and
Oh
then
yeah.
ran away, I could easily see Harrison Ford, Kurt Russell doing that easily.
Oh yeah. I think he Okay, next up, and this is the one that would be pretty low for me, and that's Al Pacino, who
Yeah,
was coming off Godfather 1. Um, I I
he was just starting to yell.
I don't see any Han Solo.
This hunk of
Okay,
junk
if you had
could
to pick
go
Al,
12 parsecs.
if you had to pick Al
Gosh.
Pacino in a role, you got to choose. Would you rather see Al Pacino as Indiana Jones or as Han Solo
Oh
in an alternate
gosh.
universe? Which role could he pull off better? In the vest, or like he's got the hat and the whip and he's like, yeah, why did it have to be snakes?
I
Why did it have to be
think
snakes?
I
Why?
think I'd rather see him as Indiana Jones maybe than Han
Really?
Solo. I think so.
You'd rather see him as a scientist and archaeologist than as a kind of like as a not a
I
bounty
don't
hunter, but
know.
as a
And
mercenary.
and maybe this is me like because I've seen how Al Pacino for so many years be this Al Pacino. It's almost got that like Christopher Walken effect, right? Where
Yeah,
we've seen
yeah.
so much Christopher Walken, it's almost hard to separate the Christopher Walken character. For me, it's
Yeah.
hard to separate the Al Pacino caricature that he is from
Oh,
like I
he could play. That means Harrison Ford gets to play Big Boy Caprice in Dick Tracy. That's
Oh no, no, no.
perfect.
We're putting Harrison Ford straight into the fire, baby. He's in The Godfather.
Oh
That is
wow.
that is old Harrison.
He's like, how did I get here? I'm Irish. He is Irish.
So I don't know. This like to me, Al Pacino is number 9. I would rather see Sylvester Stallone as Han Solo than Al Pacino.
Wow. Well, I guess push everybody up in that case.
I,
'Cause
but like
it's
what
tough for me to see
where do
Al
you guys
Pacino.
fall with Al Pacino? I'm curious where you guys fall with Al.
It's hard.
It's yeah.
He's a talented actor, and he was talented, but he's been quoted as he didn't understand the role, didn't want to do it, thought they were just trying to capitalize on his fame. Another
Yeah.
famous actor was apparently offered the role by George Lucas, who only wanted unfamous actors to have the role. I don't know. Um,
Don't
maybe he would have
get
been fantastic,
cocky,
but
kid.
he would have had to believe and really invest into the role, and it
Yeah.
didn't seem like he was willing to do that. At least Stallone, maybe he's punching stormtroopers in the helmets. I don't know. Maybe at some point he takes a stormtrooper and just crushes the helmet into a small little
Yeah.
tinfoil ball. Oh, I'd watch that.
I mean, at
I'd watch
least
that too.
Stallone did stuff like Demolition Man, where he could be the fighter. I don't know. I think I think we would have gotten a better Han Solo out of Stallone than out of Al Pacino.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Scoot
Okay.
everybody up then. Scoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to see Harrison Ford in The Godfather. One of the Corleones. Come on,
Oh wow.
magic, magic.
All right, and then lastly,
Oh.
we have Tom Selleck. Look at how cool this picture is. Man, Tom and Glenn with these like open shirt,
Yeah.
like
Charlie,
mustaches.
when are you guys gonna start wearing open shirts? Both of you guys. Come on. What happened here?
Hey,
Bruce
you're the
has a
only
chest
one
hair
with
for it.
you're the only one with buttons on your shirt right now.
I'll unbutton my this shirt right here. It's really easy because I have a shirt underneath it. Aha!
So the problem for Brody is he not only has to unbutton his shirt, but then he has to take his beard and put it into like two
Oh, that's true.
ponytails.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you
you
can
can't.
see the chest hair under the beard.
Yeah, you can't even see my. If
Like,
I
you gotta
might
clear the
have
curtain.
like.
It might be like that kind of a shirt right now. So Charlie, the only one who has excuses is you. You got to take the shirt off all the way.
Just take it off.
I don't have that sweet 70s chest hair. I just don't.
Oh,
I'm too baby boy smooth up top.
All right. Well, how about Tom Selleck?
I can.
Weird
He's
way
a
to
good.
say that. Tommy number 2 is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he has a good mix of like charm and but also like that serious like toned. He can flip it pretty well. And mostly, I just want to see Harrison Ford in the tiny shorts and the Hawaiian shirts taking on the role of Magnum PI.
Right.
That's really why I'm here.
That's a good point.
Also, Tom Selleck would have been a good Indiana Jones too.
He
No doubt.
almost got the
I
role.
think so.
He almost got the role.
So are we dropping
I
him
could
at
see
number
it.
2 then?
Makes
Drop
sense.
a big deuce, bro.
Okay. So are we happy with this current standings?
Yeah.
Should I read them out?
Yeah, read them out for our audio listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now we have number 9, we have Al Pacino. Number 8, we have Sylvester Stallone. Number 7, we have Robert Englund. Number 6, we have Nick Nolte. Number 5, we have Burt Reynolds. Number 4, we have Christopher Walken. 3, we have Glenn Turman. Number 2, we have Tom
Yeah,
Selleck.
boy.
And number 1, we have Kurt Russell.
Who would have thought that any list, when it comes to actors, would ever have Robert Englund over Al Pacino? Like, fantastic. It's like, wait a minute, what? But it makes sense. I like the list, bro. It looks great.
Good with this as the official Talk Punch rankings of Han Solo alternates?
Han Solo alternates. That's good.
I think we should have a list. The top 10 roles. It's funny to picture Al Pacino because I was just trying to picture him as Freddy Krueger, and I don't know. Go
Oh,
away, you
man.
kids! Hoo-ah!
I think he might make a
Unite
good
men.
Freddy Krueger.
He
Make a
might,
better
I
Freddy
don't know.
Krueger than
I wanna
Han
daydream
Solo.
About it.
I think so.
I want to spend some time just daydreaming about it. I want to see it.
What about Al Pacino as
I like the list.
Dumbledore?
Oh yeah, as Dumbledore.
Or
This
is it-
part
or is it young
of the
Harry
place
Potter?
is off limits. It's off limits. Are you gonna die? You wanna die? Go to the East Wing.
I want to do this episode just so you guys will do your impressions of all these, because I can't do the impressions. This is all you got.
Neither
You
can
Or-
we.
have an
apparently.
excellent Nick Nolte. Give us
That's
your Nick
true.
Nolte.
I don't have any Nick Nolte impression.
Think of something he says.
I couldn't even think of a quote.
Not another 48 hours.
When you have him just saying the movie titles that they've been in, that's perfect. If
Yeah.
I was any of these guys,
That's how you know.
all
That's
I
how
would
you
do.
know you reached peak impression.
Yeah.
That's great.
Just
Well, this was fun. I think that's a good list. Oh man, you guys have anything else to
Could have
add to
been. I
this?
believe. Hey, according to the internet, Christopher Walken was the second choice. So if it wasn't Harrison, it was going to be Christopher Walken, which
wow.
just lets you know where George Lucas's mind was at, allegedly. Although apparently he also offered the role to others. I don't know. Fun to think about. This is a fun thought exercise, and there's lots of roles like this. So let us know if you enjoyed this. Maybe we can tackle some other what could have beens or
Yeah.
multiverse
Definitely.
rules across the universe. So we will leave you with that, and you can picture Al Pacino in all of the various roles throughout history, because he would have been fantastic in all of them. Hoo-ha! And we'll see you next
Wow.
time.
All right, we'll see.
Picture Al Pacino hosting Talk Talk Punch.
Now you're talking.
Oh, there we go.
Joe's gonna come to your house. He's gonna eat your cornflakes. He's gonna drink your milk till there's just a little bit left and put it in the fridge. Hoo-ha!
Oh, I don't want to end the stream. All right.
Well,
We'll
wait
see
a
you
second.
guys later.
If he
Are you doing another impression, Dylan?
I'm not. Well,
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to, because I was gonna say if Al Pacino is taking your place, then Robert De Niro's got to take mine. He's like, I'll come to your house. I'll come to your house.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
You can look.